Hi there, it's Jordan again, Castro. Today, I'm going to show you more Max Payne gameplay while I rant to you about something that I've been thinking about for quite some time now. Over the last few years, Microsoft, Sony, Nintendo, Sega, if they still exist, they actually do. Anyways, they all tend to shovel money towards one specific brand, you know? Like, they make these developers create these amazing games, you know, like The Last of Us. I watch my brother play that every now and then. It looks beautiful. Story's pretty cool. Then you got Heavy Rain, which is pretty much like I would consider Heavy Rain a playable movie, but nonetheless, I've seen the gameplay of it. It's really artistic. It's very articulate, you know. And then you have games that are super manly, like Gears of War. You know, you got Halo, so on and so forth. I'm pretty sure you know where I'm going with this because of the title of the console exclusivity. What console exclusivity is when Sony, Microsoft, whoever decides to actually shovel money towards a development company in order to actually produce their video game, you know? So, yeah, let me just play this game while I could rant to you. Not to mention, Max Payne 3 is a multi-platform game. Granted, it's probably not on the Wii, because, you know, the Wii is not a strong piece of hardware. Well, some say it is, some say it isn't, you know, but I don't know. I don't know who would play Max Payne on a Wii. Hell, I wouldn't play it on a console, to be honest with you, after playing it like this, you know. But, okay. Let me show you some gameplay. Okay, so first off, console exclusivity. Actually, to be honest with you, console exclusivity causes a depreciation within the gaming environment, you know? It causes hostility between other gamers, you know, because, you know, they're, forced to pick although they're not forced to war against each other about which console is better, because that, personally, is some sort of awkward democratic thing console gamers usually pick up and press against each other, you know? But it enforces console wars, you know, like people are saying, oh, the Xbox 360 is better because it has Gears of War. Oh, the PS3 is better because it has Heavy Rain and other games. You know, games like this right here, games like this, absolutely beautiful graphics, amazing storylines, so on and so forth, are not locked down onto a specific console. And I mean, granted, Rockstar usually takes a little bit longer to develop their games for PC, so they can be literally perfect for what they wanted to do, you know? They pretty much what they're doing with Grand Theft Auto 5 at the moment. They haven't released it yet, but what they're doing is this is the same engine that runs on Grand Theft Auto 5, same engine that ran Grand Theft Auto 4. Except this is a more revamped version of the Grand Theft Auto 4. You know, it's completely optimized, so on and so forth. Keep in mind, I'm running this game at highest settings and Infinity, 1080p per screen, you know. Like I said, I don't use FXAA or MSAA, but I'm running everything at the highest settings. Hell, I might as well just show you right now. Check this out. On 17970 that you could get on I saw the price on Black Friday was $230, and I should have stepped on that deal, but look, everything is at highest settings except for FXAA and MSAA. All this is running 60 frames plus. Full controller support, you know? See this? I'm actually playing this game with a controller. There is no reason for console exclusivity with video games, you know? To be honest with you, I don't want to be forced to play a game in 720p if I don't have to, you know? Such as Battlefield 4, Battlefield 3, I refuse to play it on console because, one, it's an FPS. I'd rather use mouse and keyboard. I know some people would rather use a controller, you know, but that is no reason to force a lockdown of a game onto a specific system, you know? One, that limits the amount of money a developer can actually earn. The potential is completely gone when they lock it down to a specific console. But in return, they also get that premium that Sony or Microsoft throws at them, you know? But as I said before, you don't get this. You don't... Look how beautiful this game looks. Rockstar decided, oh hey, we're gonna go ahead and put the game Max Payne, although all of the Max Paynes were also on PC. It's never been a problem to actually put Max Payne on PC. If it was on PC, the first one, the second one, and the third one, of course, to begin with, you know? Now, I don't know why they didn't put Red Dead Redemption on PC. I honestly don't know why. There was probably an issue between actually the developers or something like that, or they didn't want to port it, or there's probably some issues, or who knows. This game uses with Windows Live as the DRM for some reason, but that's not up for me to discuss right now. I would say, Jesus, look at that. That was bad. That was, okay. You gotta say that wasn't bad. That I've never seen in a video game before. I say that a lot about this. First off, this game has made me realize that there is legitimately no reason to have any console exclusivities. They should actually sell their consoles based on what they... I mean, although it does cause... It causes stuff to up in sales, you know? But, you know, it's kind of a dick move when you have... The PS3's architecture and the Xbox 360's architecture were completely different beings. One was like a 3-core processor thing going on, and the other one was like a single-core processor with like 9 threads or something like that. It was kind of weird. But anyways, of course, I understand you're gonna have games that can only run on one specific architecture. But here's the thing. You got the CryEngine 3 running on, you got the CryEngine 3, you got Grand Theft Auto 5 and 4 and all this other stuff running on PC, you got them running on consoles, you got them running on, what else? You got it running on everything. There's no reason to lock a game down onto a specific piece of hardware that is technically calling it proprietary. That is pulling an Apple right there, you know? I mean, granted, I don't say pulling an Apple much in my videos, but that is exactly what it's doing. It's taking a piece of software and forcing it only able to run on one specific thing. They put Gears of War 1 on PC. Why didn't they put 2 or 3? Or Judgment or whatever it was? Because they did not want to continue... They wanted to continue the sales of the Xbox 360, in other words. If they purchased it on PC, there'd be no reason to actually purchase it on Xbox other than to play with your friends. And granted, here's the thing. PC gamers buy consoles to actually play with their friends because a lot of their friends don't know how to build PCs and stuff like that. Me, I personally rather stick with a PC because, look, I'm spoiled. I have 3 screens and playing on Infinity. But to be honest with you, I used to play with the consoles, you know? I used to play Left 4 Dead on Xbox 360. I used to play Gears of War. I used to play Dead Space on Xbox. I've done all that, you know? Keeping all of that onto one thing is legit. It's not a legitimate business, to be honest with you. You should be able to choose whatever you want to choose. It's not necessarily as simple as that because it's business. It's like I said, some games actually require not necessarily require, but they actually built the game for a certain architecture. Understand, The Last of Us was built on the PS3 and it can only use that. But here's the thing: if they would have been smart and allowed other people, because not everyone's going to buy a PS3. What I do, you know, if I don't see a game that I want to play or anything and it doesn't play on PC, you know what I do? I go on YouTube and watch it get played through. I'm sorry, it's a dick move to the developers. I know that they deserve the money, but I don't want to play it on a console in 720p at console settings. You know, I want to enjoy the full experience of a video game. I want the immersiveness. I want my 60 frames per second or plus. I want it to look good. I want it to play good. I want it to... Oh god, I sound dirty. I want it to feel good. Okay? This game right here is also on console. This game, I'm playing it with a controller, for goodness sakes. This game has tessellation, it has parallax occlusion, I believe. It has beautiful texture work, beautiful artwork, just beautiful everything, I have to say. It's a well done, well-rounded game. Rockstar did an extremely good job on optimizing this game and actually releasing it to PC. No problems whatsoever, and you know what? This is exactly how it should be done. Allow you to give the options to do whatever you want with whatever game you want, in other words. I mean, like, look at this. I'm playing, like I said, I'm playing on 3 screens. After playing a game in 3 screens and having this kind of field of view, I really don't want to go back to a console. I don't. Because then I'll be stuck down to a 720p and, 30 frames, and the response rate goes down, and after playing on PC, after a while, you're going to be like, some people can actually enjoy it. Although I do admit I am kind of a PC elitist, I do that PC master race thing, whenever I see someone talk about consoles and stuff like that, I always give them a recommendation to go to PC because it's well done on PC. If I need to check my email, look at this, look, bam, I could open a web browser from right here, I could talk to other people, I already have a person talking to me right there, and I could go back to the game using my controller. These are 3 24-inch Asus monitors with a 2 millisecond response rate, and they're all 3 of them are 1080p. My computer is much stronger than the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4 that is coming out already. I believe it's already out, and I'm already having better graphics than it, a better field of view. My options are completely unlimited with PC. If I want to actually go inside the game and use SMAA instead of FXAA, which I always do, especially with my Battlefield games and other games, if I need that frame rate boost that I like, then I could do so. With consoles, you're stuck. If you don't like something, if you don't like the lens flare, you can't turn it off. If you don't like the bloom, you can't turn it off. If you prefer 60 frames in a game, you can't turn it off. You can't turn off any features or anything like that in order to allow your game to be what you want it to be. And that's the first thing about PC gaming. Customization and the ability to proceed as what you want within your system. People, I hear a lot of talk about, oh, I want a console that you could upgrade. Why not get a PC? Hell, look, one 7970 could do all this, and I want a second and a third 7970 inside it. And right now with these sales going on, I could get another 7970 for $230, $250. If anything, I could still get it for $350. Doesn't matter. It's still cheaper than actually purchasing a console. 1, 2, a 7970 itself is literally twice as strong or 3 times as strong as the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One. And 3, you could take another graphics card and run it side by side with another one in order to increase your graphical fidelity, to increase the amount of frames you're getting, to even add more screens. Hell, I see people running 6 screens on their system, playing racing games like that, at highest settings or at most optimal settings that they choose or whatever they see fit because that's how their eyes work. It's when you have a console game that is specifically stuck for that sort of thing, and you're stuck at 720p and only using you know what I mean, like The Last of Us. It's selfish towards the gaming community to force someone to actually purchase a PlayStation or an Xbox, you know, instead of actually choosing what they want. I'm not saying there is only one way to game, but I am saying you should choose what you want to choose, whatever controller you want to use. If you want to use mouse and keyboard, by all means go for it. You should be able to have your options in order to make your gaming last a long time and actually be immersive the way you want it to. Some people actually prefer the PlayStation controllers. Some people prefer the Xbox controllers. Some people prefer using mouse and keyboard, you know? Although mouse and keyboard is more accurate, I have actually seen people destroy other people who are using mouse and keyboard using a controller. Battlefield is a prime example of what a controller can do if you know how to use it properly. I've seen people play online on Crysis 2 and 3 and Battlefield 3 and 4 using a controller, and my goodness, they were just ripping shit up. I mean, those people were in the top, but that's rare to see because some people were new to that game. I'm still saying that the mouse and keyboard is still more accurate, and it's dependent on the skill level of the person, not the hardware they purchase for online games. With Battlefield 3, I'm sorry, you get a noob to sit in front of the screen, they're not going to know what the hell to do. They're going to be dying over and over and over and over until they actually get used to the game, actually build some skill up for the game. And that's how it works. But here's the thing, the person has to be comfortable with it. Some people can't actually use Eyefinity. Then again, some people cannot actually use 30 frames for a video game, which is exactly why the developers of Battlefield decided to use 60 frames per second and 720p on the Xbox One, and essentially the same thing with the PlayStation 4. I can't remember the resolution, I think it was like 960p or something. I don't remember exactly what it was. Anyways, like I said, when a developer forces you to choose a console, such as with Halo could have been on PlayStation. The same way The Last of Us could have been on the Xbox. The same way The Witcher 2 is on the Xbox, you know? They actually put it on the Xbox. I'm not sure if they put it on the PlayStation or anything. I mean, granted, if they actually don't take something from PC and they don't put it to the Xbox for specific reasons and limitations, such as Witcher 3, that game's going to be so massive, even bigger and more detailed than Skyrim, it won't fit on the Xbox. It'll fit on the Xbox One, but not the Xbox. That is something specific because of the graphical fidelity and stuff like that. They're not allowing the console to... They're not allowing a console to limit their game, you know? They could probably find a way around it, but it's CD Projekt Red. Those guys are geniuses, and they actually understand what they're doing. Bungie had already released Halo 1 and 2 on PC. So if you're saying Halo 1 and 2 already run on PC, and not to mention there's already a driver update, something like that, for Halo 3 within a binaries of an NVIDIA driver update, I can't remember what it was. And we haven't seen it yet, the Halo 3 game actually running on PC yet. Then, if it could do all that, then why not do it? I mean, granted, you could have it console exclusive for like the first year, I guess, which is still a dick move if they do it. But, it still gets to it, you know? I don't mind them taking their time with actually bringing out a game and putting it on consoles first, then waiting a little bit longer to perfect it to put on PlayStation, just like they do with Grand Theft Auto, just like they did with Max Payne, just like what they do with a bunch of games, you know? Crysis 2 probably came out at the same time. as it went out on the Xbox and PS3, because that development team created that specific multi-platform engine, you know? They got prices. When you develop with the CryEngine, it also works simultaneously with the PlayStation. What the hell? With the PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, and PC all at the same time, running at their specific settings. It's already optimal for it, you know. They can release it all at the same time. I mean, but if they actually develop an engine, there are ups and downs to that. But such as you won't be able to optimize the game as well as you would with The Last of Us towards the PlayStation. But then again, you could still probably get the same video quality effects between the games and actually get it to run on the other systems too. Therefore, you'd be getting more money off of that, you know? You don't have to wait for some Sony or Microsoft stimulus package and be selfish about it, and instead you could actually allow every other gamer who wants to play the game the way they want to play the game. I mean, personally, I would love to play The Last of Us like this. I mean, I watch my brother play it on PlayStation, and it's very, very good, I'd have to say. I would love to watch The Last of Us being played with graphics like this, you know? Max Payne 3's graphics, or Battlefield 4's graphics, maybe even Crysis 3's graphics. In 3 screens like this in Infinity, you know, that would be awesome. But like I said, being limited to a console at 30 frames and very weak. Oh my goodness, what happened? Oh, he killed me, and I shot him in the crotch. The response rate between those consoles, you know, I mean, I'm so used to PC being so responsive that it's just weird to me. It feels so laggy, it's sluggish. It's the consoles I have a problem with, I have to say. Like I said, I'm kind of an elitist when it comes to gaming. But it's not the game itself, it's the consoles that I have a little bit of problem with, you know? I want my response rate, I want The Last of Us to feel nice. Dead Space 3, 2, and 1, I cannot stand at 30 frames per second. I can't stand it because of how it feels weird. It just feels weird. I'd rather have that fluidity, you know, in my games. Well, wow, that chair's actually moving. Hi, chair, you look real. Let me shoot you. But, yeah, that's just my 2 cents about this multi-platform versus console exclusivity. I understand that Xbox 360 doesn't have Blu-ray, and they had to make some games run on separate discs. Like I hear Rant and 5, you gotta install one disc and then play with the other. That's weird. That is so weird. I'd rather have it installed entirely to my hard drive on my PC and then get it to run just like that, you know? Oh, these guys don't like me at all. I died again. Well, anyways, that's my argument, really, with the console exclusives. Pretty much gave all my information to it. If you don't agree with me, I guess you could leave a comment below calling me a faggot or an elitist, or I'm overcompensating for 3 screens, just like one of my friends. He was being a dick to me, but anyways, I'm pretty sure he didn't mean I was overcompensating for anything, because I'm not. Okay, so that's pretty much my rant. Guess I'll upload this when I feel like it. Okay. I don't really do much with my channel. I do upload a lot of Infinity videos. I do music production. I do some vocal covers. I did a cover of Devin Townsend's Sunset. I guess you guys could check that out if you want to. Subscribe if you want to. Leave a comment saying, "Oh, you're doing a good job." I'd love to be told that. Okay, well, you know what? I'm gonna go play more Max Payne, you know, and complain about how not necessarily complain. There's nothing to complain about this game. I think I actually played a perfect game. I have yet to play the multiplayer though. Anyways, I'm a big fan of Max Payne, and I love this game. So I guess I'll see y'all later. Bye.